Now, we're starting today talking about hormone replacement, HRT, for tens of thousands of women. HRT offers a lifeline from crippling menopausal symptoms, but a national shortage means that many are facing Christmas without their vital medication.
One such person, Emma Chittenden, she's experiencing the devastating effects of this. She's alongside menopause expert Diane Danzebrink as well. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Diane, you've been investigating this. I mean, people would say, right, why on earth, or how is it possible that there could be a shortage?
Oh, Eamonn, it's such a good question. And there are potentially so many different theories about why there's a shortage. But interestingly, yesterday I read an article, yesterday I read an article that said that actually this could be to do with drug tariffs. This could be to do with essentially what the government are prepared to pay for certain types of drugs. And the drug tariff for certain types, about 15 types of HRT, changed in July last year, July 18, and we
became more expensive.
Well, essentially,
So the government
they
say, "Oh, we're not paying what you're asking for." They all act tough, and then the drug companies go, "Do you know what? If you don't want to buy it, we'll sell it to everybody in China then instead."
Exactly. So that's one of the theories, but it does make sense because in about October last year, we started to see HRT products not being available, and essentially it's just got worse throughout the last 12 months or so.
Diane, how many women are taking HRT in this country?
There's around 1 million women in the UK who are using HRT.
The thing is, I thought it was just like one patch fits all, that, you know, like standard sort of patch tablets. But as you will now tell us, it's very tailored, isn't it?
It is, yes. I'm currently on the third different type of HRT since the one that was originally prescribed. And chopping and changing on it can have all kinds of impacts. It's not like changing from one branded drug to one that's been made under licence. They are all very different and they all have different impacts.
Yeah, I mean, you're only 42, Emma.
Yes.
And you had to have a hysterectomy because of problems, and that kick-started your menopause. What was life like before you got your HRT? How much better did it get? And now what are you facing that you can't get the right dosages?
Before I got it, it was a long journey to get diagnosed. It took 3 years after I'd had the hysterectomy to get the diagnosis, to get the HRT. And it led to me feeling like I was losing my marbles a little bit because I was constantly back and forth to the doctor that I was gaining weight and it wasn't explained. I was having some psychological problems. There's a whole variety of different symptoms that you get.
And then when you got it, finally, how quickly did it help you and make you feel better?
Within 2 weeks, I started to notice the difference, but after 6 months, I felt like I was in my 20s again. It was amazing.
So amazing. So you're living life back to your old self. Then you find out the HRT that's been helping you so much is not available. Then what do you do?
I made a plan with my GP that if the drugs were out of stock, then she would give me a call and we would discuss what was going to happen. Unfortunately, the day that my prescription went through, she wasn't in and nobody called me. So I turned up to collect my prescription and it was completely different.
Well, Diane, this is where you believe that women can help themselves in this sort of thing, because often the GPs are out of the loop. They know how to prescribe, but they don't know what the pharmacies are stocking and whatever. And you believe that a lot of people could do their own homework on this and help themselves?
Yeah, they shouldn't have to, but in a situation like this, it's a good idea. So the British Menopause Society, about every 3 months, they're producing a list of what's currently available. Unfortunately, it's not always completely accurate, and that's a long story, but generally it's useful. So what women could do is, rather than go to the GP, get a prescription, take it to the pharmacist for something that isn't available, is
and then you've got to wait another 2 weeks at least to see your GP.
Exactly. Print off the list from the British Menopause Society website, go to your usual pharmacy and ask them what is actually available. Then get your appointment with the GP.
So literally tick them off on the list. We've got this,
just ask them what is currently available. And there is a little bit of good news in that one of the most popular brands of patch has recently changed hands as far as pharmaceutical companies are concerned, and it wasn't going to be available until at least the middle of next year. They've now said they think they can, this new company have now said they think they can make it available by February. But essentially, what we need here is we need the Department of Health to step up and do their job and make sure that the 1 million women who are on HRT are not in a desperate situation and that they can get what it is they need.
And are you worried that you could find yourself in a desperate situation?
Yes, I am. I'm on the one that's hopefully being restocked, but the challenge is that you face a different set of reactions to the medication every time you change it. And the last lot that I was on caused some very serious problems for me that I'm only realising the true impact of what they were now.
Like what, Emma? Because, you know, when we're talking about Dan saying maybe February, this medication will be available again, between now and, say, Christmas, you know, where we were talking about everybody supposed to be happy and relaxed and whatever it is. What are you worried about that you would go through?
The last lot that I was put on effectively triggered a breakdown. It caused some severe psychological problems. I couldn't focus and I couldn't concentrate, and my job requires me to spend an awful lot of time in front of a computer. It was the equivalent of a surgeon having both of their hands chopped off. I couldn't...
You can't concentrate.
I can't
you're
concentrate,
foggy, yeah.
I can't think, I can't remember words, I can't string sentences together. It's petrifying, it really is.
I think the psychological and cognitive impact of menopause is really underplayed.
Yes, because everyone talks about hot flushes and it's so much more than that.
They're just simply not aware of it, and unless you're going through it, you really can't appreciate it.
So your message to the government today would be what?
My message to the government, to whoever the incumbent government are going to be, is get your act together and make sure that these women can get the medication that not only they need, but they deserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's such a pity so little real workings of government should be is getting done because of the present political climate.
Thank you for telling us your story, Emma. And Diane, always good to see you and talk about this. Thank you very much.